Alright. I'm dying. How's it going, bros? Today, we are going to be making a... we're going to be making a dish. And now, calling it green slop, someone's probably going to get mad at me for it, but it is literally... It's a dish that literally looks like a witch's cauldron of, like, diarrhea. But it's a dish, it went viral on Twitter, like, a couple weeks ago, because someone was like, thank God I get to eat this every day, and everyone was fucking quote retweeting it and absolutely lighting them up in the quote retweets, being like, thank God I don't. Because it looks like, it's like a big pot of boiling green goo full of, like, meat and fish and all sorts of other random shit. And I was like, okay, everyone's giving it shit. Everyone's like, this is the nastiest thing ever. And they're all being mean. And maybe they're right. But I'm not one to listen to what the public consensus says, okay? I'm gonna be my own man and I'm gonna find out for myself, is it really disgusting or is it just gross looking? Because curry looks like diarrhea, but some of it tastes really good. I'm gonna try to make it myself. I did some research, found out what the dish is called. It's called black soup. It was attributed to South Africa, but it's actually from Nigeria, which I was able to, once I found that out, because in the recipe they give, they don't say what the name of it is, but they throw stockfish in it. And I was like, it's stockfish. That's Nigeria. So I started looking for different Nigerian soups, and eventually I found it and was like, okay, this is the one. This is the green sludge. It's called black soup. It's a traditional Nigerian dish. People online, they'd be like, it looks gross, but it's actually, like, good. So maybe they're right. We're gonna give it a shot today. I'm gonna put it under the test of the American palate. Stop bitching about getting ignored. I'm gonna go through these in a second. Let me finish my rundown, okay? I'm gonna put it under the test of the grand American palate, which is in no means a perfect palate, but I'm gonna give it the best shot I got, okay? And we're gonna see, is it actually delicious even though it looks nasty, or is it just nasty? And I got the setup over here. I got my giant slop pot. Good. My printer is still kind of fucked because this is the most illegible piece of paper of all time. It's okay. It'll be good enough for what we need to do. I had to, like, really hunt for the ingredients for this. What makes the soup green? It's got a base of leaves. Now, I'm doing the best I can here, okay? I got some fish. It's not quite the same kind of fish. I got crawdads, because they called for that. Let's see, okra. I believe they use sheep, but I got pork because they didn't have the cut of lamb that I was after, or the cut of mutton that it was called for, and this is, I don't know, I feel like I did a lot of research on this, and all the recipes are kind of just like, you make the base sauce, and then whatever you throw in it is just gonna taste like that. Like, the stuff you use to make the base sauce is more important than all the meat that you throw in it. In the video, the woman threw in fish heads. I believe it was catfish, specifically. Now, catfish isn't in season here, and I also didn't want to go fishing to try to get them myself. Maybe I'm being a little lazy. Lazy streamer didn't go dedicated out to fish to get the catfish. So it's a little different than the one in the video, but this is following a recipe that was online for the same dish. Not all of them they all involve some kind of fish, but they don't all involve catfish. They don't all involve catfish heads. Now, I will say, as I said, I am fully prepared for this to end up surprising me and tasting goods. That said, the ingredients smell really bad. I had to import a lot of stuff. I'm gonna go through it here in a second, okay? Just cause, like, it's oddball ingredients. Alright, we got, so the stuff I had to special order in. We got this palm cream, because we need to make palm sauce. And now, when I was looking in different recipes, some use palm oil. Some, they're like, oh, you make a palm sauce and you have, like, tomatoes and stuff in it, and it's like a separate sauce. If you like they buy it in, like, a jar. It'd be like buying a jar of, like, marinara sauce, I think, where it's like a pre-made thing. And then some of them, they just take the palm fruit and they boil it and then they mash it down and create a sauce that way. you can't buy it online. I couldn't find it anywhere locally. So I'm gonna do the best I can and try to make the sauce using this. Obviously, I can't get the fresh, like, fruit, because that ain't anywhere near here. You have to deal with the Ohio supply chain here. That's the main challenge. There are 2 places that were near me that on Google Maps were labeled as African grocery stores, and I was like, okay, surely African grocery store will have this food for this uniquely African dish. Well, no. One of them, in due credit, did have some stuff. It had some stuff from South Africa. They had like some chutneys and whatever. No weird produce though. And it was mostly like soul food stuff. The other one was like entirely like Americanized soul food stuff. It's like, that's not really an African, it's not like from traditional African cuisine here. But I understand that, you know, living in Ohio, maybe we're not getting the clientele to warrant carrying, like, Uziza leaf and bitter leaf and all that shit. The recipe is in volume measurements, but you buy them by weight. And this is another 2 ounces of scent leaves. And scent leaves show up in a lot of these Nigerian dishes, so they must be one that's commonly used. For the meats, oh, no, wait, hang on. There was one more thing I had to order, which was this. It's stockfish. Stockfish is an interesting one because it's a Nordic survival food, but it's an essential of Nigerian cooking. Because, like, 100 years ago, Nigeria had a big famine, and a bunch of different countries came together to send relief to them. And Norway was like, well, we got all this stockfish, it's like our native Arctic survival food, we'll send it down to Nigeria to help them out. And it became such a big thing that the #1 consumer of stockfish in the world is Nigeria now. So Norway has an entire industry of producing stockfish, and it's almost exclusively all getting shipped down to Nigeria. And it's kind of expensive, but it doesn't take very much to make a big pot of stuff, so, you know, it ends up not being too awful bad. That's the only thing that's making me kind of doubt it. And then fresh, because the recipe here that I've decided to use uses washed bitter leaves, got my bitter leaves, scent leaves, which are these guys, Uziza leaves, which are these guys, roasted fish, so we're gonna have to roast these, but I got some sea bass. Probably it's cod or catfish that they would be using. I couldn't find cod, and catfish is out of season. I kind of wish I did this in the summer, but it's being made because there was a funny video that people were retweeting. It wasn't around them. Then 1 kilo of assorted meat. In the video, they use like hocks off of a goat. I couldn't find any goat. Sheep, I could have found some mutton, but I got a good deal on these pork neck bones, which I feel like are going to be pretty similar. 1 kilo of assorted meat, I ended up going with these. Half a cup of ground crayfish. Can't get fresh crawdads up here, it's a little more southbound. But I was able to get these pre-cooked crawdads. So I'll shell those out and mash up the meat to get my half cup there. Ground pepper, we got. Seasoning cubes, I did some research. It's just bouillon. There's a brand I tried to get that they have in Nigeria, but it's basically just a chicken bouillon cube. 7 pieces of stockfish, we got that here, and 4 cups of the palm fruit sauce, which we're gonna make. So we should be good to go. How many times do I have to say a thing and then you read and someone else says it back wrong? It's palm fruit sauce, not palm oil. Palm oil is a different thing entirely. This is mashed up palm fruit in this guy. We're gonna make it into a sauce, which we're gonna be using these tomatoes and peppers and okra and a bunch of other shit. And then that's gonna get cooked, and that's gonna be what gets added as the primary base to the main dish. So we have to build up the skill tree a little bit here. Let's prep up our sauce real fast, because we need this to, like, simmer for a while, so I don't want to be poking around too long here. Onions chopped, too large. I get the impression this is going to make more food than I need by a considerable amount, so let's make half this. Hey, let's not dice it that fine. This is more of a broth type thing. Boil the meat with 1 liter of water. Oh, they want meat in this one. Oh, speaking of, when I cut this hot pepper, remind me to not touch my eyes or balls. Onions, tomatoes, simmer for 20 minutes, stir in the cream and the smoked fish, pepper and water, then add salt, bouillon cubes, okra. Okay, okra goes in later. We have the tomatoes here. 3 medium tomatoes. And our tomatoes chopped up. Ah, my eyes are fucking burning! It's not the tomato acid, it's the onions that I chopped up, I'm pretty sure. They want me to boil the meat in the water? Hang on, what? Boil the meat with a liter of water until tender. A liter? Boil it with a liter of water? Are you kidding? Okay. Top it off a little bit because I wasn't quite a full liter. There we go. That should be about right. If you boil it, it makes foaming meat spooge. You're so right. It does. It does do that. Boil it for 45 minutes? Fuck off, dog. 45 minutes? The final dish that this uses cooks in less than an hour. Alright, it's starting to simmer now. Excellent. Let's throw some schmeat in there. This meat is mostly bone. Alright. So that should do it. Ow! There we go. Yeah, okay. You can kind of... Okay, it's hard to see... It's hard to see into the pot just due to the angle that we're dealing with here. I think we're about ready to add our other stuff. You know what, I will say, before this started, the basement smelled like rotting fish, and now it smells kind of good. Smells like meat. I think the butane is running a little bit low here. Alright, add chopped onions, tomatoes, cube. Alright, let it simmer another 20 minutes. They need to fucking speed it up, dog. What's in this palm nut sauce? Let's see what this palm... What the fuck is this? This shit orange. Smells interesting. I've never... Okay, I didn't know what that was gonna be. I guess it's fucking orange. Trust the Nordics to make the most cursed food. You can tell they lived in a place that didn't want them to be alive. Just by the cuisine that they invented. Okra, salt, bouillon. I don't have cubes, I realize. I have powder, but we'll add it all the same. You can add a little more. And then our palm cream. This is our rare imported ingredient. This looks like poop from a butt, but it's so it's vibrantly orange. Look at this shit, man. It's really concentrated. Alright, I think I actually have more than I need for this. So I'm gonna stir this all up. Looks about right. Okay, okay. I see what's going on here. Is that a bag of crawdads? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. How does it smell so far? I'm a bit congested, but it smells really good. I'm not gonna lie. This smells quite nice. Now this is just the precursor sauce. You simmer this and then you strain it out and just use the sauce in the bottom. Why it look good? I don't know, man. Probably because people eat this shit all the time. I'm telling you, man, I'm not gonna lie. This might end up just tasting delicious in a way that I've never tasted anything before, because none of these flavors are familiar to me. That's the exciting part here, right? We don't know if it's gonna be good or if it's gonna be doo-doo. I'm turning the heat down pretty dramatically here because it's a little too much. It's so much you can barely see what's going on in there, man. It's all smoky. All right, let's turn you off. Let it cool a bit. I'll set it off to the side. Now we can start prepping the actual. Well, hang on. We gotta strain it off still. Yeah, actually, shit. I need to get a big bowl. So we need to strain this guy off. But now we can start prepping the actual meal. Would this be served with fufu? Yeah, someone earlier came in and said that it should be served with that. Which I don't have, because I didn't know what it was until this stream. See, I learned so much from you guys telling me. When they made it in the video, they didn't make this sauce themselves, they bought it. So I'm making it because I don't have a means of buying what they bought for theirs, right? So I'm thinking that maybe we don't strain it out. Let's just leave the stuff in there. Because you don't drink the broth so much as you do pick the meat out and eat it. So let's do that. I mean, we're just gonna throw more meat in it too. I don't know. I feel like that's the way to go here. Can't imagine they would waste the ingredients. They probably leave it in too. I believe that the dish that I am following, they typically eat it with just this. Like, this is the dish. But I'm just wanting the broth sauce that they made for it. So it doesn't say throw it out. I think it's expected that maybe you have the leftover be used. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's hard to find information on this stuff. Most of these recipes are not written down. They're passed down like the mom just tells the kid how to make it type of thing. I had this problem when I was researching those Chinese recipes too. Them motherfuckers don't write nothing down. It was hard to find a lot of those recipes because of it. Alright, chopped dried bitter leaves. Okay, let's make the green. So, there's 3 types of leaves, and we need to soak them in water because they're dried. And in the original, I believe they started with wet. But even, or fresh. But even then, they had them in a mix. This has an interesting smell. These are bitter leaves, is what their English name is. Damn, roll that shit up, bud. Is that too much leaves? Nah, bro, you have no idea how many more leaves we're about to add. So, 2 cups of these. So I think it's just going to be that entire bag. 2 cups of bitter leaves. 2 cups of Yaziza leaves, which are these guys here. Ooh, that smells kind of, it smells kind of like a fenugreek, almost. This is what makes it green. It's all these leaves. I'll throw this in too. And then, finally, half a cup of scent leaves. I can't find fenugreek anywhere. If you live near an Indian mart, go there. The one near here isn't that well stocked, and they even have fresh fenugreek, which is a lot harder to find. Whoa, that smells really strong. What is that? It smells like a combo of, like, parsley and rosemary. That's a strong flavor. They are called scent leaves. Makes sense they would smell strongly. Scent leaves smell. How shocking. Shut the fuck up. Okay, let me add some water to this. Where's my drinking cup? Try to rehydrate as much of this as we can. I don't know why I'm being stingy on the water here, actually. Let me just get more water. Whoa! About launched the receipt printer off the table. Let's put more water in it. Alright, there we go. This is looking a little closer to, like, the picture. Let that rehydrate a bit. They say to mix with water like this. What I don't know is whether their measurements were with dry or fresh leaves, because if it's not with dry, this is going to be real strong. What all we need to prep here? Oh, we're throwing the fish in, too. I forgot about that. Dried stockfish and then also fresh fish. Or, it's not fresh, but it's fish fillets. Look, I'm doing my best, okay? Let's start pulling tails off some of these crawfish. These crawdaddies. These are pre-cooked. So that's the only way you can buy them here, due to them not being native to the area. They say non-native to the area. I think it's more that the industry does not exist to fish them here. Because you could definitely go to a creek and find crawdads. Now, there's only a few of them that need in this. I'm kind of tempted. Maybe I should keep the heads and throw those in there, too. Even though it doesn't explicitly call for them. I guess I'll put these in here while I don't need a whole cup of them. It's a shame to waste. Yeah, generally, I do save the shells. Same with when I shell shrimp. I save the shells because they make for really good stock. These fuckers are fast. Yeah, they're hard to catch. I was pretty good at catching them. They would try to pinch you. But, it was more that it just took so long to find them if you're going through creeks and stuff. Use them for catching fish. Oh yeah, they make great bait. That was generally what we would use them for. Especially because the ones you catch in the creek are like this big. Which is small to eat, but it's ambitious to fish with. Because generally you would catch them out of the creek and then the creek would run into the river. So you'd run down to the river, fish that. But none of the trout in the river were usually big enough to eat the creek crawdad unless it was a pretty small one. So it was like, it was too juiced of a bait. Nothing else that needs prepped. So we can go ahead and move these guys to the side. There we go. You guys will get a good view in from this angle, I think. Turn the fire back on. Brewing the green potion at 3 a.m. Not clickbait. Don't try if you're only a level 1 mage. Alright, hang on. What do we do? Oh, okay. We throw the meat in first. Then the stockfish, fish, and crawdads. Then cook for another 15 minutes. Alright, throw in this meat. Cook for like 30, 40 minutes. Alright, I see. We're gonna need a little more water, I think. We're gonna add some salt, which we've been sorely lacking up to this point, and some pepper, because it says season with pepper, and beef bouillon cubes, which it says cook the meat with 1 bouillon cube. This is gonna be like the strongest flavoring of all time, dog. The amount of like high flavor components going into this slop pot. All right, Wyatt looking kind of good though. Like, okay, so far you can see like the nice fat layer on top, like ooh. And then just the color's gonna change when we throw all these leaves in there. Does it smell good yet? Yeah, but we also haven't added any of the fish. We haven't added any of the stinky components. We cook the meat first, and then the fish get added after the meat have cooked for a bit. Let's get this rolling. Cook this for like half an hour or so. The sludge ain't looking too green. We'll add the leaves soon, don't worry, okay? Tilapia, most likely cod. I tried to get cod for this. I couldn't find cod. It was one of the more last minute things that I got for this. I got sea bass. It's a fairly neutral fish. I don't know. I've had cod. I feel like it's not too much different. I would have liked to get catfish. That was what I was looking for initially. Cod's usually common. Yeah, the local... Well, see, here's what happened was I tried to get catfish when I was out initially, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So then... Earlier today, I was like, shit, I need to get a fish. I'll just run to the store and get... I had to get crawdads and fish. I was like, okay, they have crawdads. I knew which stores stocked those because I bought them before. And then they had a bunch of different fish, but they didn't have cod, even though that's a pretty common one. Swai fillets are just catfish and usually sold in the frozen fish shop. Okay, I didn't know that that was what that was called. It should still be okay. There's so much strong flavor in this. There is no chance that the slight difference of fish is gonna make that big of a difference. Like, it's just not gonna do it, man. Any sort of white fish will be fine. Here's the thing. The recipe didn't specify what fish. They just said fish. The fat in the pot is going crazy. Yeah, it's kind of making it look delicious. Not gonna lie. I like feeding the catfish brown pellets. They will really eat anything. All right, we got it rolling now. Let's add the leaves. This is the part that I think makes it green. Still pretty damn orange in my opinion, but I don't know. Maybe it'll cook in a little more. Maybe I should have like, I ground them down like to small pieces, but I didn't like destroy them down to dust. Maybe I needed to do that. Stockfish, the dry fish, the crayfish. Throw some crawdads, throw in some crawdad. These will help season it up real nice. Some stockfish. This is the fucking stink bag. Oh. Few pieces of this. Holy shit, that smells so bad. I really hope that that cooks into good flavor. And then our normal fish. Alright, baby. Is that it? Is that all of our ingredients? I think it might be. Death soup? It's not death. You should make Stargazer pie. It's peak Brit food. What is that? Oh, it's a pie with fish in it. That's disgusting. What the fuck? Why do they have the fish head stick out of the pie? I don't know about this one, boss. I'm surprised by how not green this is. Mine is more orangish green. The green hasn't, like, dissipated fully into it. Alright, you know what's wild? I'm gonna be completely honest with you. This does not smell that bad. I would dare to say it even smells good. This ain't bad at all. I'm gonna add a little more salt. This would make the family from Resident Evil 7 say, "Are you okay, bro?" No! Come on, man. This is traditional food. I'm not cooking dishwater. It's not dishwater. It's the cauldron. How green is it IRL versus on camera? Hang on, let me go look, because I know that it can, like, fuck up a little bit. pretty green. It looks about the same. This is the shit the Joker fell into. This is just in time for Halloween, you know. Alright, you know what? I think everything's cooked. What happened to the fish fillets? Are they, like, gone? Did they, like, fall apart? That's stockfish. That's not a fish fillet. They might have just, like, crumbled apart. They have been boiling for a while now. Let's, here, we'll kill the heat real fast. I hope that I salted this enough, because as I said, I didn't want to spoil whether it was good or bad by tasting it, but when you're cooking, you do kind of have to taste your food if you want it to turn out right. Alright, it got significantly darker when I stopped boiling it. Whoever said that the dark on top was the leaves, you're wrong. It's not. It's like black oil. This is our final pot. The proper name for this dish is black soup. Just so you know. Probably, you know, if I had to guess, this is probably why they call it black soup. Alright, let's carry this over. We can serve it a little easier. Yeah, baby! If you turn off the reflection, you can get a better idea of what it looks like. Yeah, we're looking okay. It's that dark green? Yeah, it's really dark green. The rain barrel time forgot. I like that it's still, like, bubbling. What, stopping the boiling has made it look way worse than it did before. Why does it look like this now? Alright, hang on. Let me get some meat out of here. Oh, there's some fish on there too. Thank God. I was like, I don't know where that is. We'll crawl that out of there too. Is that a paper plate? Yeah? Sorry, I didn't get the fine china out. Paper plate would be fine here. Was I wrong in that assessment? It's still hot. Give me a second. Seems too hot for the hands. In the video, the woman is like eating it with her hands. Not just like, not even like draining it, putting it on a plate and eating, like plonk into the pot and like off the hand. It's way too hot for me to do that, and I don't want to wait for it to cool down that much, so I'm putting it off to cool down a little, and then I'll maybe dip it in the broth. I can't talk too much shit, man. I eat the crawdads out of a pot like this. Granted, it's like it doesn't look like this, but it's still like, I don't know if this is good or bad, but the stream's making me hungry. We're gonna find out. I think it's cooled enough now. Yeah. We're gonna find out real fast. Let's see how this tastes. Whoa, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good, I'm not gonna lie. Hang on. I want to get more of the leaf flavor. The fishiness is more of an undertone. I'm really glad, because I thought it was gonna be overwhelmingly fishy, but it's kind of just there in the same way that like fish sauce in a Thai dish sits as like an umami intensifier, because like the first bite, it just tastes like really flavorful pork, and it was kind of hard to pick the other flavors out. Dipping in it, you get a little more of it there. Dipping in it, you get a lot more. So I'm no expert food taster to hit you with the tasting notes, right? So don't take this as it's sounding like a negative thing, because I mean this in a good way, but it kind of tastes like when you dive head first into a leaf pile and you get a little bit in your mouth, and then that plus fish plus pork, like a tender pork rib. There's a lot of herbaceousness here. Kind of minty and like hint of like maybe rosemary and oregano, the scent leaves that I described earlier, where it's like kind of fenugreek-esque. Those are like the primary flavor of the like herbishness. But the other leaves taste more just like leaves. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know which flavors are coming from what, but one of those leaves I think just tastes like leaves that you picked up off the ground. Are you getting a strong bitterness? No, it's a mellow bitterness. The same with like a bit of the fishiness too, where it's like, it's not like a super strong fishiness. I used pork. They used goat. I couldn't get goat, at least not easily. So I substituted. It's quite good. I think it would do well to cook more pork in here and have it take on this flavor. It's hard to like describe because it is fairly unique. The like flavor of the broth and everything. I also don't know how much is the palm fruit, because that's also something I've never had. It's hard to describe things that I've never like, had a concept of before. All right, dip this in the hot broth. The seafood flavor is definitely there in, like, everything. Maybe from the stock fish, maybe from the fish that we cooked. We have the fish that we cooked right here. Pick it off its skin. It didn't have scales on it, by the way. It was scaled, but it had skin. Let's see how that tastes. It's like nothing I've really had before. It's very fishy fish. It's fish that's had the fish flavor bolstered by it. What this does, more than anything, I feel like it's just an umami bomb. Like, every flavor is so intensified of the thing that you're eating. Because there's so many umami components in this dish, right? And on top of it, it's sweet. It's a pretty sweet broth, I would say. That's probably coming from the palm fruit. Is a smash or pass? I don't like that I have to eat it with my hand, but I probably could have remedied that one by not cooking cuts and, you know, that'd be Americanizing it a little too much, I feel like. I think traditionally you eat it with your hands. I just dropped it on my desk. That's not gonna stop me from tasting this one, though. Cook the meat till it falls off the bone. It's really tender. I'm surprised how tender it is, given how not long it was in this pot, you know, for something like this. Hang on a second. Oh, the crawdad. Crawdad. It was already cooked, so this shit's probably double boiled. It's probably tough as leather. Oh, no, it doesn't seem like it's too awful bad. It's turning my damn fingers orange to go through this thing. Wow. That treats the crawdad pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, because I am at the mercy of not having them fresh. I don't think they were pre-seasoned by anything other than salt, though, but that's quite good. This is the best way to try the broth directly, I think. Yeah. Quite fishy. Not bad. Oh, wait. No, whoa, okay, no, actually, that is not that good. That's so bitter. When you first bite into it, it's just fishy, but those bitter leaves are really fucking bitter, I think. It's probably the oils. I tried to stir it so that I wasn't just dipping in oil. Well, interesting. You learn something every day, man. And now we can say we've tried it, you know? We didn't just go off. All right, so basically my takeaway from this is I would not want to eat this like a soup, because it's kind of bitter and fishy and not very good. Did he salt the meat but not the broth? That level of not trusting me is deranged. Of course I salted the broth. You weren't here, man. The meat is good coming out of it, but the soup itself is not good at all. And I would never want to eat it straight. So, I don't know, man. It's not better than other ways to cook meat, is the problem, I think. There's so many better, like, sweet, herby marinades and broths to slow cook meat for a long time in than this. I don't know, man. Basically every hot pot clears this thing.